I forgot last. 4-2. Okay. So I always think of you. We're going to need, for class today, you're going to need a block. You can sit in a chair, in case you haven't figured out it is Halloween. And maybe a pencil that you can use, because we're going to do some eye exercises. I should do all of these, shouldn't I? In yoga, in traditional yoga, actually very little of it was poses. Most of traditional early yoga was breath exercises and meditation. And in early yoga, they only have 3 or 4 poses that are actually original, and then the rest have been added in over time. So once it got to America, we all thought it was all poses, but it's actually a lot of other things, and it's a way of life. Basically, the 10 Commandments. So today we're going to do some eye exercises and we're working on balance. Last week we worked on our feet, so let's just remember the points of our feet. You can't even touch the floor, can you? We'll bring up, if you can't touch the floor, what you can do is you can put a blanket under your feet or a block under your feet. And then you're able to actually touch the floor. So you'll need a chair if you'd like to sit while we do the eye exercises, or if you want to be on the mat, you're welcome to do that. We're going to start off with the chair. We'll start off with a quick meditation. So if you're seated in the chair, imagine that your 2 sits bones are contacting, and one is reaching down like a deep dandelion root. The other one is reaching down to join it. And maybe rock a little bit forward, a little bit back, a little to the right, a little to the left, until you find that just right spot where you are really connected through your sits bones into the chair, down into the earth to your feet. Grounding is our first fundamental. And our feet are connected to the ground. And our sits bones are connected to the surrogate of the ground, which is the seat of the chair. Second fundamental is finding ease in our body. So we're so used to always being in constructive rest because that is the most restful pose there is. But when you're seated, finding ease when you're trying to have that neutral upright spine can sometimes be a trick. So reach down on the sits bones tall, all the way up to the ponytail round of the head. And if your hands are on your knees or your lower thighs, gently pull back, and that's going to open up your chest. It's also going to roll your pelvis slightly forward, and then once again sink down into your hips and the sits bones. Relax your jaw, your tongue, and invite the space between your ears to be broad and spacious. And then bring your awareness to your breath. And allow each exhaling breath to go all the way out to the very end. And as you raise the ponytail crown of your head, notice that brings your chin slightly down towards your chest, lengthening the back of your neck. We always want our chin to be below the level of our forehead. Each exhaling breath, easy. Each inhaling breath, continuously. So keeping our eyes closed, gently start to rock forward and back on your sits bones. There's 3 major ways of getting our balance, and the first one is our eyes and seeing the horizon. So keeping our eyes closed, make the other 2 now go side to side. Make the other 2 come more to the forefront. So the other 2 is the little hairs and crystals in your ears and proprioception. And then find that space right there in the middle. Then go back into cat, bringing your chin down to your chest, tucking your chin. So now notice that the position of your ears are different. And then come forward, rocking forward on your sits bones, opening up your chest into cow, opening your belly all the way between your legs. And now your head is in a different position. Exhale back into cat. Inhale forward into cow. So you know where your body is right now. It's stable because it's on the chair with the feet on the floor. But your eyes are closed, so you're stimulating your proprioception, which is a very complex group of impulses that go from your muscles and your joints back to your brain. And then come back to just seated, finding that space where you're not too far back, not too far forward. And then put your left hand onto the side of the chair, take the right arm up and go all the way over to the left. So this is crescent, seated crescent, and we're stretching the whole right side of our body. Your eyes are closed, and notice that your left ear is towards the ground, right ear towards the ceiling. Inhale, come up, change sides, right hand onto the chair, left hand up and over. Nice stretch all the way over. Once again, letting your right ear come down towards your right shoulder, towards the floor. You're changing the position of the ear. Inhale, come. Keeping your eyes closed, come to the front of your seat. Hands on the lower thighs. Pulling the thighs towards you so your pelvis slightly tilts forward so you have that nice upright posture. And now do nice big circles with your pelvis and your sits bones. So you can go either to the right or to the left. So you come all the way over to one sits bones, onto the tailbone, onto the other sits bones, all the way to the front, almost giant circles. Let your head join so that you are letting those ears move with the movement and then go around the other direction. So when you come forward, head comes forward. When you go to the side, ear comes down. When you go back, you go into cat pose. And then coming again into regular. Now we're going to do the eyes. You ready? I'm going to come a little bit closer to the computer so you guys can see my crazy eyes. So first we're going to start off. Imagine that we've got 12 o'clock. So this is 12, this is 6, this is 3, and this is 9. You guys, it's going to be opposite. So we're going to first start off without any pen or anything. And we're going to just reach down with the sits bones tall through the spine. And you're going to look up at 12 o'clock without moving your head. Look down at 6 o'clock without moving your head over to 3 o'clock. And without moving your head over to 9 o'clock. Do that again. 12, 6, 3, 9. 12, 6, 3, 9. Opposite direction. 12, 9, 6, 3, 12. So if you get dizzy or if you get nauseous, stop. Okay. But now just go ahead and rub your hands and cup them over your eyes. So you let your eyes rest a little bit. Okay, so that is the first one. And that's without moving our head. You can take your hands down and grab your pen or a pencil. You can use your finger if you like. If you don't have a pen, you can use a stick. You can use chopsticks if you happen to have them. So take the pen all the way out as far as your arm will go. And without moving your head, bring it all the way into your nose and all the way out. All the way into your nose and all the way out. Up to about 2 o'clock, back all the way down to about 7 o'clock, back up to 2 o'clock, down to 3 o'clock, over to 9 o'clock. You have to have your eyes open, Jane, because you don't follow the pen. So you're not looking at me, you're looking at the pen. Back all the way out. So you see how that I don't know if any of you noticed, but some of us, we're turning our head to go with it. Did you notice that that's what you were doing? Or you were closing your eyes and just moving your arm? So once again, bring it all the way into the nose, all the way back out, all the way up to 12. Don't move your head, all the way down to 6. Come back to the nose, all the way straight out, all the way out to 3, all the way out to back out straight ahead, which I don't know what to call that, and then all the way over to 9. It's going to be opposite of me, and then back into your nose. Okay, now we're going to let our head go with our eyes, because one of the reasons that we lose our balance is we're not tracking. Okay, have you ever noticed you just walk into the side of a wall because you're not watching where you're walking? How many of us done that? Yeah, we've all done that. And another reason for losing our balance is that you're not following where things are going. So now we're going to move our head as we move. So track it up, track it all the way down, track it back to center, into your nose, back all the way out, over to the right, back to center, over to the left, back to center, into your nose, and put that down, grab your block. Fun part. Balance it on your head. Oh dear, I got a bun on the top of my head. Okay, so that's a start. First, finding the balance. I think we all need Velcro, right? Now, instead of sitting in the back of the chair, you're sitting in the front half, right? You're sitting in the front half and you've got this block balanced on your head, and it's going to fall off, so that's okay. Many times it's going to fall off. So we're going to have fun with this. Okay, now forward and back, just like we did before. And I expect that we're all going to lose the block. That's okay. Forward and back. And notice you're using your eyes. If that you find this too easy, close your eyes. And now go from right to left. Notice what you have to do with your head. Right to left, back and forth. Now do big giant circles. We've done this with on our feet. Remember when we did that with our feet? Big giant circles. Yeah. And then giant circles the other direction. If you got your eyes closed, you didn't see that I just dropped my block. Now, once again, if you're getting dizzy, nauseous, if you start having a seizure, please open your eyes and stop. And then coming back to center. Okay. Now open your eyes and grab your pen or whatever you've got that you're using. You can use your fingers. And they actually had us using mudras with your hands, but that's more than I want to go. So now track all the way into your nose. That's easy. All the way back out, all the way up, not losing that block, all the way down, not losing that block. Back out straight ahead, all the way out to the side, turning your head. All the way back to center, turning your head going the other direction, back to center, into your nose, down all the way between. Can you follow it with your eyes? Or did you lose it? Yeah, some of us aren't following it with our eyes. All the way back up, all the way out, and back in. No fair holding the block all the time. Okay, taking the block off, putting your pencil or pen or whatever you have down. So what did you experience with that? Kind of, we don't have a lot of good tracking, do we? I've noticed that in some of you, you were doing this, but you were looking straight ahead. You know, your arm can go up and down, but your eyes aren't following. Or some of you, you're going and turning the whole head so that you're not using your muscles in your eyes. Okay, so inhale up, look up so that the change of the ears changes. Forward fold, look all the way down. Inhale, halfway lift, look forward so that your ears change. And fold, close your eyes. Inhale, come all the way up, face towards the ceiling. Hands back down to the side. This time we're going to add on chair. Inhale up, face towards the ceiling. Eyes are closed. All the way down, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, looking forward and up. Exhale, fold. Bring your arms back behind you. Bring your weight onto your feet and come up off the chair into chair pose. Eyes are closed unless you lose your balance, then you open them. And then press down on the feet to come all the way up and back to mountain. Find your block. It takes 200 muscles to take one step. Isn't that interesting? 200 muscles, which is basically your whole body. So now we're going to stand and balance the block. I should have brought a washcloth to put on my hair. My hair's too slippery. Yeah. And just finding, reach down with the feet tall from the spine, slightly bringing your hip headlights up so that you're not slumped into your lower back. Arm bones are in the back of the socket. And gently go from right to left, swaying right to left. This is too easy for you, close your eyes. And really notice how your feet change, where your big toe and your other toes are putting pressure. Now go forward and back. Try circles. Here, many blocks falling. Once again, awareness down into your feet. And just notice as you do those giant circles, go the other direction, how the pressure on your feet changes. It's a really good exercise to let you know that it's really very important to have your feet grounded. And then coming back to center. Taking the block off and putting it aside. You can move the chair aside too, unless you want it for balance. If you want it for balance, just put it to the side, because we're going to do another balance exercise. And this is good for everything, but mostly it's an assessment to let us know where we're weak and where we're strong. So how are you going to be on your mat if Molly's right in the center? Just kick her aside, just tell her to move. Molly, move, move over here. Okay, so draw a giant plus on your mat. So you already have it on your mat, James. You've got so the point in front, point back, and then to the sides. I didn't bring tape first to do it. Now draw a giant X on your mat. So now you have a star. Okay, you have an 8-pointed star. Hands at hips, mini squat. Weight over to your one side. I'm not going to, because that's confusing otherwise. Pick up your other heel and you can slide your leg forward to the top of your star. Slide your foot back to the bottom of the star. Back to center, over to the right. So we're making a plus first. Back to center, over to the other side behind. Back to center. So we've done the whole plus, right? Let's come up so that we can let that rest and do it to the other side. Mini squat. Take the other leg all the way out, all the way back to center and out to the side, back to center and over to the other side, and back to center and come up. Is it too easy for you? The next is to take your feet off the ground. But first, let's make our X. So mini squat, top right, back right, back left, all the way forward, forward right, and back, come up. You feel on your legs? Mini squat, top left, bottom left, over to the other side, and back all the way to the other side, and back. Now we're going to put that all together. So we're going to put the plus and the star together. For those of you who found that too easy, bring your weight over to your left and raise your leg. Tap forward without tapping, or tap. all the way to the back. Coming forward, top right, back left, top left, back right, back side, left side. Come back up. Are you feeling a little bit of balance work going on here? You feel a little bit of leg work going on? Mini squat. You can raise the leg or you can slide your foot. Depends on your balance. So raising the leg up, balancing and tapping front, back. Come back to center each time. Go out to the top left, back. Left side straight out, back. Left at a quarter, so that's like 7:30, back. Now go up to the right at an angle, back. Over to the right behind you, 3 o'clock, back, and then all the way back behind and back up. Okay, enough, let's do some more. So when you think, what can I do to help my balance? You can do those eye exercises. You can close your eyes when you do sumo. So we talked last week, moving up and down, and we keep talking, that anything you do, when both feet are on the ground on a stable surface, that's the easiest. Closing your eyes, that changes. Move your head, that changes. Then the next level is to go onto an uneven surface. The next time you come down, pausing here, your eyes are closed. Notice your ears have changed position. Bring your weight over onto one leg. I don't care which one it is, and come up onto the toes of the other. And then bring your weight over onto the other leg and come up onto your toes. And then come back and come back up. So you know what the next progression is. It's going to be to take your leg up off the ground if you like. Exhale, coming down. Bring your weight over to one side and maybe lift the leg up and come into star. I'd open my eyes for this just in case you had to too. And then come back down into sumo and over onto the other side and come up into star. Foot down, hands to hips, coming up, eyes closed, and do another sumo. And coming back up. Heel, toe, heel, toe. So you can add on balance with any pose that we do. Closing your eyes, uneven surface, or add on, take away a leg. We're now going to try walking, heel to toe. So find a place where you can walk. If you want additional challenge, you can put the block on your head. This is enough for me. And we're going to do toe to heel, and then turn your head from side to side. Yeah. This is physical therapy 101 for balance. So if you find that balance is difficult for you, you can turn around and go the other direction. Don't look down. You're turning your head from side to side. Makes it much harder, doesn't it? Heel to toe, heel to toe, heel to toe. And then turn your head in between. And turning the head really throws me off. How about you? Yeah. So do this for 2 or 3 minutes every morning while the coffee is percolating. Walk up and down your hall, heel to toe, turning your head back and forth. How many of you are able to do this without a problem? Yeah, so we all need this. Sue, you can do it without a problem? Oh, okay, I was going to say, oh, wow, I'm really impressed. Okay, so come back to your mat. Let's do a sun salutation. I know, I'm sure a little dizzy. Anyone else a little dizzy? I'm a little dizzy. What does that tell me? It tells me that that's a challenge for me and I'm losing my balance as I age. So those 3 things, if you don't have eyesight, if your ears aren't working and you don't have proprioception, if you miss 2 of those, you cannot balance independently and you cannot live independently. So if you don't pay attention to having good tracking with your eyes, wearing your hearing aids, Patricia, and paying attention to proprioception and really doing some of this stuff every day, practice is what makes perfect. And if we don't practice, we don't get better. Remember the first time you came to yoga? And it was like, crazy? Are you nuts? I can't do any of this. Remember that? Same thing with balance. The more you lose balance, the more opportunity your brain has to gain balance. So the fact that the block falls off, that's great. The fact that you can't do it, that's great. That means you're giving your brain the opportunity to learn it. Okay. Top of the mat, feet together. That means our base of support is a little bit smaller. This is Iyengar yoga, where they have the feet together. Reach down with the feet to be tall to the spine. Inhale, arms up. So now we've added our movement, but it's back down. Its movement is the same, isn't it? Now when you take your arms up, look over your right shoulder. Oh, the same change, and back down. Now look over your left shoulder, arms up. And back down. Now raise your heels and look over your shoulder. Heels up, arms up, looking over the shoulder. Arms down, heels down. Heels up, arms up, looking over the other shoulder. Heels down, arms down. So we see what we've done. We've taken away the base of support. We've made our support less, and we've started to turn our head. Anyone want to close their eyes and do that? There's no day up. I'm going to take my legs a little further apart. Heels up, arms up. Heels down, arms down. So the more times we fall, this is good, right? Heels up, arms up. Heels down, arms. Adding on chair. Heels up, arms up. Heels down, coming into chair. Sits bones back, reaching fingers forward and forward fold. Close your eyes and let your ears take over. Inhale, face forward. Exhale, face back. Press down on the feet to come all the way up, face up, grabbing onto your right wrist and over to the left. Any point you can close your eyes, open your eyes. Inhale up, over to the other side. Inhale up, arms down. Okay. Heels up, arms up, face up. Ooh, I think I'm going to open my eyes. How about you? So anytime you have to open your eyes, you can come into chair, close your eyes. Now your heels are down. And forward fold, face towards the back wall. Inhale, halfway lift, face forward. Exhale, plant your hands on the mat, walk your feet back. Downward facing dog. In downward facing dog, bend your knees, push the floor away from you, tilt your pelvis up, tailbone is reaching toward the ceiling. And bend the left knee, right heel goes towards the mat. Bend the right knee, left heel goes. Come back to center, come forward into plank. In plank, we're building strength. Roll the arm bones back. Come into up dog, let your face come up. So there's the ears changing again. And go all the way back to down dog. Notice how the ears change. And how do you know you're in down dog? Your eyes are closed. That's your proprioception. Come forward back into plank. Do your 8 push-ups, building strength. You've got to have strength for balance. And if you don't have upper body strength, this is the push muscles that we're using here. If we don't have them, you're not going to be able to catch yourself when you fall. Come all the way down to prone mountain. In prone mountain, your hands are down by your heart. Uncurl your toes. Reach long through the ponytail crown of your head, chin is slightly topped. Press down with the hands and pull back, and notice how that turns on the upper back muscles. Those are the ones we all tend to be weak. Ground your pubic bone, noticing how that turns on the bum muscles. Inhale, come up into baby cobra. Turn your head and look over your right shoulder. Ears change position. Come back to center. Turn your head and look over your left shoulder. Back to center. Press down, pull back, run the pubic bone. Inhale, come up into baby cobra. Pull your heels towards your sits bones. Locust pose, arms come back. Making the brain work. Right arm, left leg come up and down. Left arm, right leg up and down. Crawling locust, go ahead and do it with your own brain. Opposite arm to opposite leg, building strength. Building muscle in our brain, making the opposite sides connect to the opposite side. You can also turn your head so the ears are getting into it. Last time, and come all the way down into crocodile pose and release. Good. Let the heels roll out. They're onto the little toe side. Everyone feel their heart rate going? I think that contralateral locust is about the hardest there is, personally. I don't know, you might find it really easy. One more breath here. And then come back to prone mountain. Remember, you can keep your eyes closed if you want to challenge your balance. Curl your toes and lift your knees up off the ground, reaching the heels away. Now, how do you know your knees are off the ground? That's your proprioception. It's a huge number of muscles all going to your brain. Now put your knees down, push the floor, and come into tabletop. You have to walk your hands back underneath your shoulders. In tabletop, when you push the floor away from you, taking your chest a little bit further away, that takes your shoulder blades onto the sides. Those are the muscles we're trying to lengthen and strengthen. Take your right foot back, take the left arm forward, take the right leg up, a chair. It's a little hard to raise it with your chair that way. Are your eyes closed or are your eyes open? You notice the proprioception? You have any swaying going on? Oh yeah, me too. Hand down, knee down, cat cow. What I didn't remember to cue was, did you collapse into your standing arm? Okay, so back into tabletop. Push the floor away from you so that the chest is further away from the mat. You're engaging the upper serratus muscles right underneath your shoulder blades. Take your left leg back. It's on the ground. Raise the right arm up. Keep pushing with your standing arm so that you're not collapsing into it. If you like, raising the back leg, the left leg. Eyes are closed, you feel the sway. This is an excellent pose for balance as well as strengthening. Hands down, knee down. Notice in cat cow, your eyes are closed, your ears are getting lots of stimulus and input to the brain about where your head is. And come to tabletop, walk your hands one hand breadth forward, eyes are still closed, curl your toes and push back to down dog. Ears change. Knees are bent, push the floor away from you. End of the exhale, bend the knees, face towards your hands. There's extension of the back, and then walk your feet forward. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale, fold, face goes back. Press down on the feet to come all the way up. Face does a full arc up towards the ceiling and back down to mountain. Open your eyes and see if you're on your mat where you thought you were. I'm usually off to one side or the other. I don't know why, but anyways, okay, stepping wide. Yeah, you can all go different directions, it's okay. You all go different directions and we'll just do it. So right toes out, left heel out. Now remember the 3 points of the foot? So roll out onto your little toe side and then roll back just enough until your big toe can be found on the front foot and the back foot. So roll out, roll in, and then gently pull the heels and the toes together so the arches are innervated. So not to the point where you're like clenching your toes, just a little bit of energy. Pull with the heel to bend the knee and push to straighten. You always have the option of closing your eyes. So if you want to really feel all of that proprioception going on, so we're moving, aren't we? We're moving through the pose. Now, if you like, you can turn your head from side to side. As you bend, you turn to the right, or whichever knee is out. As you straighten, turn over the back. Next time knee is bent, pausing here. Find your stability first. Bring your hands to heart. A little bit of pressure on your hands, isometric movement and strengthening of those back muscles. Gently knit your ribs, raising the pubic bone towards the belly button. Inhale, arms up and out. Turn your head to look over your front hand. Anyone feel any swaying? Yeah, me too. Good. I'm glad I'm the only one. Tipping the pelvis with the next inhale, dropping the forearm, look down towards your foot, although your eyes are closed, and the arm comes up towards the ceiling. Turn your head to look, oh, I'm gonna have to open my eyes too. Turn your head to look up towards your fingertips, towards the ceiling. And you can always open and close your eyes if you start to lose. Turn your face to look down towards your feet. Grab onto your shin, pull your thigh in, and you're in triangle pose. If you like, turning your face forward, then turning your face towards the raised arm. Face forward, bend the knee and come all the way up into warrior two. Flip the front arm, reverse warrior. Face turns, straighten the knee and bending the knee. Straighten the knee, bending the knee. Straighten the knee, pausing here, arms down, feet forward, open your eyes. Are you where you thought you were on your mat? So adjust. Anyone still dizzy, or you're okay? Remember to keep your eyes open if you get dizzy. Okay? This is really hard work. Even though it's simple, it's hard because we're aging. I hate to say it. Right toes turn in, left toes turn out. So first find your feet, rolling out into the little toe side, and then flailing your toes and coming back just until the big toe is grounded, and then gently pull them towards your heel. Make sure your toes are turned in. So on that back foot, get up on your toes and reach that heel out a little bit further. You're fine. You're fine. Yeah, good. Okay, now you can close your eyes if you like. Find your balance. Do you feel any swaying? Do you feel any movement in your legs and your toes as you try to stay upright? Then pull the heel, the front leg, towards the back as you bend the knee and push to straighten. Pull to bend, push to straighten. Turn your head as you bend the knee toward the bent knee. Straighten, bring the head midline and back over to the back leg. Okay, so bending, looking over the front leg. Straightening, looking over the back leg. Bending, looking over the straight leg. Last time. Straightening, looking over the front leg, to the back leg. Next time you look over the front leg, knee is bent. Pause here. Just notice the sway. Most of us have it. Hands to center. Your gaze can come back to center. Pressure on your hands, turning on those muscles in the back. Isometric. Inhale up and out, arms go out. Back arm over back leg, front arm over front leg. Turn your head to look over the front leg. With the next inhale, tip your pelvis, drop the forearm, look down, face down towards the front leg, arm swings up towards the ceiling. Face forward, face up towards the extended arm. Face forward. Remember, you can open your eyes anytime you need it for the balance. Face down towards the foot. Last time, face forward, up to the left arm, back forward, and back down. Reach with your hand down to the shin and come into triangle pose. Your face is down towards the feet, so bring your face forward. If you like, face up towards the ceiling. Back forward, bend the knee. Let's rest for a breath. Inhale, coming up into warrior two. Flip the front hand, turn the head. Reverse warrior. Back hand comes onto the thigh. Face comes up towards the front hand. Straighten the knee, standing gait. Bend the knee. Straighten the knee. And bend the knee. One more time. Straighten the knee, bend the knee. We end at straightening the knee, arm down, face forward. See if you can move your feet and come into sumo. And when you come up, open your eyes and see if you're where you thought you were. I'm not. I'm walking. I'm off by about 3 inches. Okay. Coming to the top of the mat. We're going to do a flow that we've done many times, but we're going to add it onto tree pose. And this is more functional. Remember, we like to do tree pose, but who stands around in their life static in tree pose? When was the last time you did that in the middle of your living room, right? So we want to make everything more functional. So we're going to do the flow where we do mini squat, and then, so it's mini squat, and then you come up and raise the right knee, so I'm going to be opposite guys, and then tilt all the way over, straighten the leg. So this is warrior 3, drop the foot. This is warrior 1, raise the heel up so that you bring your pelvis. This is extended siding. I mean, this is projected lunge, sorry. In projected lunge, you can have your hands at heart or down on the thigh or up by your ears. Then push on the foot and come all the way up. High lunge, right? Bend the knee and straighten. Bend the knee. Straighten the knee. Now, I find this a challenging balance. If it's not challenging enough for you, close your eyes. And if you want to turn your head, go for it. For me, this is as far as I can work. And I think most of you would agree. Next time knee bends, pausing here. Raise those hip headlights. Hands to heart. A little bit of pressure so you get those muscles again. Arms come straight up. Remember that block? Press in on the block and reach it up towards the ceiling. One more breath here. Then come into projected lunge. Arms come back behind us into humble lunge. Bring your weight onto the right foot into airplane. Take the leg out to the side and come into tree. And then arms down, knee comes up into crane, and foot comes back down. Anyone want to do that, guys? Close? It's challenging enough. Just putting all of those poses together is much more functional because that's how we move. Maybe we don't move in those ways, but we do have to take our leg out to the side. We do have to take the leg back. We do have to take the leg forward. Okay, over to the other side. So mini squat. You're picking up groceries, right? Weight over to your other side and the leg comes up into crane. Now this is if you were in the marching band, right? Then tilt the pelvis, kick the leg out, warrior 3, drop the leg down, raise the heel up, coming up into, oh, first we're going to do projected lunge. So in projected lunge, you might have to reorganize your legs. I have to come forward a little bit so my knee is directly over. If you like, you can take your arms all the way out. That's the hardest. I like it at heart. Or you can have the support of the thighs. Then come all the way up, straighten the knee, more weight onto that back. Remember that back leg, roll the thigh in. Pull the heel to bend the knee, push to straighten. If you want to add on, close your eyes. Or eyes open and turn your head from side to side. Not me, right, Jane? We're just looking at the horizon so we don't fall. Next time we bend, pausing here. Hands apart. A bit of pressure on those hands. Arms come up. Gaze comes up. Opening up your chest, opening up your throat. Ear changes position. Notice that. Then one breath at a projected lunge. Ear changes position. Arms come behind us into humble lunge. Push off the back foot to come into airplane or warrior 3. Come swinging around to the side, bringing the knee out to come into tree. And then knee comes up into crane. And back down. Yeah. I feel it in your standing leg, we're building strength. You have that SI joint. So when you go into tree, don't go out. Do tree almost like crane, because this is pinching. So, you know, tree can be like this. Tree doesn't have to be the leg out to the side, okay? Everyone come to the top of the mat. Inhale up. Exhale, bend the knees, tip the pelvis forward, fold the eyes closed, face toward the wall behind you. Inhale, lifting, face forward. Exhale, plant your hands, feet step back, down dog. Hallelujah for down dog. Push the floor away from you. Tip your pelvis so that you're tipping the pelvis forward. The pubic bone is reaching down to the floor, trying to get back between your thighs. Push the floor away from you so that your shoulder blades are coming around the side of your body and your ears are between your shoulders. Then come down onto your knees, uncurl your toes and sink back into child's pose. Look over your left shoulder, right here toward the mat. Take the right hand on top of the left hand and come into crescent child's. Right hand releases over to the right side, look over your right shoulder, left hand comes on top of the right, and sink into child's pose, crescent moon. Feel the breath move through your chest wall. That's really the benefit of this. And then come back into child's pose with one hand on each side. Maybe your forehead comes down to the mat. Or you can drop your elbows and put forearm over forearm or fist over fist so that your forehead can complete the kinetic chain and make contact with something that's contacting. And then bring your hands under your shoulders and push up. See if you can continue with your eyes closed, making your way onto the back of the body in constructive rest. You might have to open your eyes to find your strap.
When you're in child's pose,
Yes.
should your butt rest on your legs or should your butt be up in the air?
So Lynn is asking, when you do child's pose, should your butt be up in the air or should it be on your legs? Traditional child's pose is that your butt should be down on your heels. If you've had knee surgery, you cannot do that because the knees do not bend that far. Or if you have knee problems. Puppy dog is when you're one straight line, you're up to halfway, so that they can see and you can see. So if my hips directly over my knees right now, so this is puppy dog. So puppy dog, your hips are directly over your knees. Child's pose, you try to get your hips back. My knees don't go any further, because that's all the further bionic woman is. But if I used to be able to go back, if you can't go back and it hurts, then you can put a block between onto your heels and rest onto that. So there's other ways that you can do it. Can you go all the way back, Jane? I think I can. I'm afraid to pop my knees out. They told me they're only made to go 110 degrees.
You're supposed to put your butt right down on your knee.
All the way down onto your heels. Yeah, no, you're about where I am. So that's okay, you know, we're each built differently. And look at, and you can certainly do it, can't you? Shark can get all the way down, and so can Carol. So, you know, it doesn't reflect your intelligence or your compassion. It's just how you're built, right? Okay, coming onto your back and constructive rest with your, now that we had that, you know, that was a good question, right? Because people want to know. Thank you. You're welcome. So close your eyes again. You have that strap so that you know where it is. And know where you are in constructive rest. Feel your feet on the ground. Raise your toes up, roll over onto the little toe side, and then one toe at a time come down until you can round that big toe. And then draw a line between the little toe mound and the big toe mound back to the center of your heels. Roll your arm bones out, bring your elbows to your waist, fingers towards the ceiling. Press down on the back of your head and the elbows to raise your chest up. This is upper body of fish pose. And then let your chest come back down. The shoulders are closer together. Press down on the feet and raise your pubic bone up towards the ceiling as you come up into bridge. Pull the heels towards your head. Reach the knees over your toes. If you like, you can bring your arms back up into cactus arms. If you like, you can come up onto your toes, raising your heels and your pelvis even a little bit higher, keeping that pelvis that high, as if you could lengthen your shin bones. 5, 4, 3, bringing the heels down, 2, 1, contact. Now slowly bringing your back down, one vertebra at a time. Try not to come in 3 chunks. It's really hard to articulate the lower back. How do you get those vertebrae to work on their own, just like our toes? And once you come all the way down, let your pelvis relax. Bring your knees into your chest, giving yourself a rock. Drop the left foot down, take the strap, your eyes are so closed, right? And you put the strap around the ball of your foot until you straighten the leg. Without looking, straighten the leg. So we don't care how far that foot is. It doesn't have to be over your hip. It might be halfway down to the ground. But just let your proprioception tell you that your right knee is straight. One hand on each strap. What does your proprioception tell you about your elbows? They should both be straight. Then roll the arm bones into the back of the socket so that they're grounding onto the mat. Take the left leg out, reaching the heel out, another half inch, and then ground it down there without letting the arm bones release. Gently hit your ribs. And breathe. You feel that knee nice and straight. Doesn't matter where the leg is, remember, more of a straightness. Now, reach the toes to the nose and let the heel reach more towards the ceiling. Feel that? Back fascia line. Take both straps into your right hand. Extend the left hand. Look over your left shoulder. Inhale here, exhale, right leg, right arm out to the right as you're looking over the left. Reach out with the heel, toes towards the nose. And only go as far as you can maintain your pelvis flat on the ground so that it's parallel to the ceiling. Left pelvis does not come up off the ground. Inhale, coming up. Face goes forward, left hand comes up, grabs the strap, right hand goes out. Rotate the thigh in, look over your right shoulder, right leg goes over to the left. Heel up towards the ceiling, toes down towards the ground. So in supine leg stretch, you can still get balance even though your whole body is on the ground by closing your eyes and turning your head. Face back up as the leg comes back up. One hand on each strap. Bend the knee into the chest. Remove the strap. Wind relieving pose. Hand on the knee, drawing it into the chest, reaching that left heel out. Point and flex. If you want to build more strength, knit your ribs and raise the left leg an inch or 2 up off the ground. Rotating in circle one direction and the other direction. And dropping the left leg down, Releasing the right knee and trying to keep it that close to your chest, building strength around our hip socket. And then bring the knee over the hip, proprioception. Where is it? Do you know where it is? Let the knee go out to the side, 1 and 2. Let the hip come up the opposite hip, and 3. And back down, put down, straighten the leg. And what do you feel in your body? Just notice what you feel. My one side feels very different from the other side. What's your experience? It doesn't have to be my experience. And then bend both knees. Coming back to constructive rest. Take the left leg up and put the strap around the ball. Straighten the knee. Your eyes are closed, so you don't see where your leg ends up. It doesn't matter. What matters is that your elbows are straight and your left leg is straight. Then straighten the right leg out. Reaching the right leg out so that the heel goes another ½ inch and then round it, and your foot is flexed. And then reaching the left heel towards the ceiling, toes towards the nose, arm bones down towards the ground. Roll your pubic bone into the belly button so the lower back is on the mat. You're using your core strength. Take both straps into the left hand, right arm extends, look over your right shoulder. Inhale here, exhale, left leg and left arm come all the way out, only as far as you can maintain that right hip on the ground. Reach the heel away from you. Reach the right heel away from you. Both legs are very active. One more breath. And then exhale, coming back to neutral, face comes towards where the foot is. Change the hand over to the right. Extend the left hand, look over the left shoulder, roll your thigh in, and left leg goes over to the right. Again, reach the heels out, both heels, keeping those knees nice and straight. And face comes forward, leg comes back up, one hand on each strap for a breath. Then release and bend your knee, bringing it into your chest. Wind relieving pose. Roll your pubic bone into the belly button, flatten the back on the mat, raising the right leg if you like to build strength. Point and flex. Circles. Circles the other way. Leg comes down. Release the left hold that you have and see if you can keep that knee close to your chest as it was. Then bring the knee over the hip. Inhale out to the side, back to center, out to the side, back to center. Can you keep your pelvis stable? Out to the side, back to center, and bring the foot down, extending that. Reach the heels out, drop the heels down into the ground and draw them into the sits bones, hamstrings, pushing down, pulling it in, and then bringing your knees into the chest for a final rock roll. Eyes still closed, happy day. Eyes still closed, make your way to the position you would like to use for Shavasana. Maybe you're in constructive rest, or horse pose, or legs up the wall. So one of the poses that we don't do in class is shoulder stand, and legs up the wall is a really great way to do shoulder stand. That's the initial way. So anytime you want to use legs up the wall, please go ahead. It's actually part of the normal yoga flow, is to do shoulder stand at the very end of class. So wherever you are, take a couple of nice big breaths and let the exhale all the way out as you settle down into your mat. And find stillness and quietness. For some, this is the hardest pose of all. I've had class where someone came in and spent the whole time in corpse pose, and I've had class where someone was doing headstands during horse pose. So everyone finds a different way of Shavasana. But Shavasana is a really important time to allow your body to rest and digest, to integrate and assimilate. Just feel the back of your body against the floor. Relax your jaw and your tongue. And allow each exhaling breath to go all the way out to the end. Moving your fingers and your toes, bending your knees, bringing the feet to the ground. If you like, you can bring your knees into your chest for a final rock and roll, and then roll over onto your side. Excuse you. Molly. And pushing up and making your way to seated. And if you like, you can sit on a chair. Otherwise, remember, if you're sitting on the ground, sit on the pocket so that you can get that pelvis to roll forward. We don't have a little bit of height, and it's hard for us to get that pelvis in the end of sitting down. Hands to heart. May all beings be happy.
May all beings be happy.
May all beings be healthy.
May all beings be healthy.
May all beings be safe and free from danger.
May all beings be safe and free from danger.
May all beings be free of any form of suffering.
May all beings be free of any form of suffering.
May all beings live with peace.
May all beings live with peace.
Namaste.
Namaste.
And now you can open your eyes. Finally. Okay. Yeah, it's hard work, isn't it? Very hard. Balance is hard. This is the greatest cause of mortality after the age of 65. Anyone less than 65 is falls. And falls are due to balance and strength, which is why we've done strength work. What was that? Hi, guys.
Thanks, Patricia.
Hi, thanks, it was great.
See you soon.
Yep, bye. Bye, Patricia.
Bye. It's hard work. That star thing, boy, that was hard.
Yes.
And walking and turning your head. At home, I do it in a hallway so that my hand can touch the wall as I'm walking down. Because I lose my balance. And especially after knee surgery, because you have to teach your body all over again how to balance with this different stuff. Oh. Yeah, well, you know, it's because we're practicing. So keep on going. Right. That's the best we can do is just keep on practicing and keep on looking at it. But I like the way they say, you know, that balance, the more time you fall over, the better, because that's why I play golf. I figure the more times I hit the ball, the more butt bang I get from my butt. Great looking.
Well, I guess I play golf the same way.
You know, and if you find an extra ball, that's 5 points bonus. You're out on grass or you're out in the forest, then you get extra points for finding balls.
So you go for the points.
I go for the points, yeah.